have not done this before, but I suddenly had the idea to make this video, and perhaps I'll make some more later, and I'll first start with this one. So first of all, I hope no one hears me, because I have roommates here, so and it's like 12 o'clock or something like that, so I just hope, I would feel embarrassed if they would hear me. But then, of course, if I upload this, many others could hear it, so yeah. Well, the thing is that I was thinking about the subject of the scapegoat today. I suddenly had like some kind of epiphany around this, because the past few weeks, maybe months, I've been very angry. And this anger comes from the ongoing abuse that I experience in my life. So I have a lot of, I already had, how do you say that? I had a lot of therapy already, because, you know, I never want to expose anyone publicly. Sorry for my horrible English. But, you know, I just had a really difficult childhood, and I am working myself out of just the complex PTSD that I have because of that. But we all, or most of us, will know that sometimes you keep repeating certain patterns, right? And you just keep finding yourself in very similar environments and around very similar people or similar problems. And like for instance, in my life, I have encountered a lot of alcoholism with family members. Some of those family members were, in my perception, very nice people, but still, you know, maybe I never encountered their darker side as a child, but still they were alcoholics, and some of them died really young. But then you move out of that, you know. I also have a lot of experience with people that are most likely have narcissistic personality disorder, and you know, I had a lot of therapy, and it's been really effective. It really has been really effective. So, for instance, EMDR has really helped me. So I have cut contact, if you say it like that. I don't have contact with certain individuals anymore, and I am pretty sure that is the best I can do. But, well, as I was trying to tell you, sometimes you find yourself in very similar environments. So, you know, after I left my home, you know, left my parents. I'm not saying, by the way, that, or like who is to blame or something, right? So I'm not saying anything about that. It was not both of my parents, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so then I left home, and I had like a relationship, my first relationship. I've been 8 years with that person, but I moved into his home with his parents, and this person was an alcoholic as well, and you just deal with the problems that come from that, right? And like if you that was from the age of 18. So if you look back at it, maybe it would have been better if you have or had some more boundaries about it, and that you you know, basically do everything you can to take care of yourself and not be surrounded by people that are that toxic and, you know, a bit sometimes dangerous, you know, if not physically, then for sure emotionally and psychologically. But you don't. I mean, I didn't. I was, and maybe still am, not the type to take full responsibility of my own life. I have always kind of moved into the victim place, you know. So I would rather someone save me, you know. So I basically came to that point in my life right now. I am now 31 years old, and as I said, I have experienced, or is that word? I have grown a lot of hatred and anger and a desire for revenge. You know what I mean? That used to be me. This cup is, by the way, from Indonesia, from I think it was the grandmother of my great-grandmother, I think, or it's the mother of my great-grandmother. So I was really close with my grandmother. She was born in Indonesia. Her mother, and then her mother, that's who owned this cup. So I have one and another one. So yeah, the anger, the revenge was, by the way, something I had to move through as well. You know, you of course always have to go through certain steps, right, in your development. So there was no other way than to become really angry and hateful. And I've had actually some beautiful, or like, how, you know, potent, powerful experiences around anger and around the visions that came from that, you know. Not so long ago, the vision that I had, or the experience that I had a lot to do with the Dakini, which is like these are wrathful spirits from Tibetan Buddhism, probably older, I suppose, from the Bön religion, from Tibet. Oh yeah, I also have this, well, this very ancient axe, hand axe. Someone gave it to me. They said that it was from Neanderthals. That's one of my fascinations. So yeah. I'm not sure, how can you be sure if you know, if it's actually from that time? That would mean it's at least 40,000 years old, but that's another story. That's another story. Anyway, sometimes I just move through, or not move through, I have these rituals that I do, you know, that's how I deal with things. But you know, eventually it will consume you, and it will be poisonous. And I actually had like an experience maybe 2 days ago that I went to this sort of, you know, spiritual shop where I bought this candle, by the way, this candle for protection. And I told the lady in the shop that I told her that I was like, I never encountered, never met someone that was on my level. That's what I said, you know. And this basically, it was not like a dramatic moment, but this was basically a turning point for me, because I just heard myself say that from all this build up, anger, frustration, helplessness, basically, you know. And I heard myself just say that, like, there's no one. Actually, what I meant to say was that there is no one that can help me like I can help myself. That's actually what I meant, but I said it in the most arrogant way, and basically also maybe a little threatening even to this lady, you know. Not that it was a threat, but I was like, never mind, no one can do it like me. Yeah, I did say that, and meant it, right? I meant it. Just a little break. I don't know how to edit these things, so I'm not doing that. Sorry if it's like boring or something, but I am coming to a point as well. So yeah. Oh yeah. So I don't know if I already told you or I forgot, but basically and honestly, I'm not like making this up. I'm not making it bigger than it is or something. Basically, I have been, you know, emotionally abused in the home that I live in right now. This is like a protected home. I guess I'll just be completely honest. I don't care about the stigma anymore. I've been in a psychiatric hospital twice for psychosis. And, you know, this probably also stems from all the trauma and stuff. And this is like the last time that I was in a psychiatric hospital was like 5 years ago. So I really moved past that, keeping myself in check, you know. But then I moved into this home that is like protected living, right? But the problem with these kinds of home is that they put you in the same house with other people with psychological problems. But the big like flaw or fault in the system is that they put random people together, you know. And I am, unfortunately, someone that is very sensitive. You know, I'm a very anxious person. I can be very brave in certain aspects of my existence, but often I am very scared, you know, and sensitive, and I also am very like vulnerable to that's the thing, to become a scapegoat, right? It's a very fascinating archetype, the scapegoat. But to be a scapegoat is, of course, really horrible, right? And that is what I want to talk about right now. Because yeah, because I had like an epiphany, basically. To be honest, sometimes you have an epiphany and it would be, for another person, it would be the most basic, most easy thing to get to, you know? But sometimes the most easy or most like simple things can be really difficult for someone. Yeah, especially when you have like some damage to your system, you know, to your psyche. So basically, like, that's what I guess I didn't come to this point yet. I live with someone who is an alcoholic again. They did, I mean, not, I seriously try not to be in that angry mode anymore, that blames others, but they do sort of put me together with alcoholics. Like, there was another alcoholic in this home, and I always really have to take care of these people, you know. There's other people that should, and maybe, you know, that is like something that I'm trying to discover right now. Maybe I should not try to help others anymore. These are difficult questions, right? But anyway, the other person that was quite not very violent towards me or something, but, you know, just angry, a lot of anger, and you know, a little bit of abuse, I must admit, you know, like I'm the person that sometimes fawns, you know. You move through all these different types of reactions. You have the flight, fawn, flee, and another one. Anyway, you move through those. These are trauma reactions, right? Or like coping mechanisms. But eventually, after like a lot of work, this person got the help that they needed, and well, for a very, very short amount of time, there was like peace back in the home, right, that I live in. There's more. We are like 4 people here. But this person went to a clinic, and I guess he's much better off, you know. I sometimes see him on social media, and I guess he made his way out, basically, you know. But then after a few days, I suppose, maybe weeks, but I guess it's days, they unfortunately put another person in this home that was way, way worse in his addiction. I mean, because once again, I seriously had an epiphany, and I'm not going to blame this person anymore for who he is, you know. And I hate to say, I hate to use this word, like, I don't want to. I don't want to. The thing is, I am not in the position to diagnose anyone, right? But I guess the tendencies of this person are very narcissistic. Yeah. And he is very violent, but never physical, which makes it a bit more difficult, you know what I mean? I guess everyone understands that if someone is not physically harming you, but he or she is emotionally harming you, that it makes it much, much more invisible, right? But yeah, this person came into my home and he has been screaming at me, calling me names every single day, almost every single day for 2 years. Like not every single day, but maybe 10 days without all the screaming. And, you know, so anyway, so what happened is that because of all the screaming and the not sleeping, because he woke me up with his loud noises and screaming and almost every single night. So I didn't sleep. I still find it really hard to sleep. I have sleeping medication. Without it, I don't sleep. My sleeping schedule, my natural sleeping schedule is now that I fall asleep around 5 in the morning, or I take like strong medication and I sleep, yeah, a bit earlier. So yeah, but yeah, the thing is, the thing that I realized is that I have always been the scapegoat. Like there's so many examples of me being a scapegoat throughout all these other situations, you know, and these other dynamics with people. So it's quite difficult to be the person that says like, oh, I am always the one that gets the blame, you know, because no one basically is gonna believe you because it's like, yeah, right, or something, I guess, you know. I guess a lot of people would be like, there's probably more to the story, you know, because why else would you always be in that situation or something? Or there was this thing that was going through my mind today, where there is smoke, there is fire, and that's what I basically am in a very well, not very, but in a bit of a chaotic way, I'm trying to get to in sharing this story here, is that it's difficult to take the responsibility when you are basically a victim, you know. Because the thing is, what happened is that through all this anger, there were a few moments, a few times that I couldn't take it anymore, and I lashed out as well, you know. I screamed. I was not the first to start the screaming, of course, but I did scream. And I felt like, to be honest, I felt like, and still basically feel like, the screaming and the hypervigilance that I had, I imagined it to be a sort of a boundary, you know, that I am not taking this anymore. I didn't want to take the waking up at night. I didn't want to take anything anymore. I didn't want, yeah, so so the thing is, I did scream, and then suddenly, what suddenly out of nowhere happened is that a lot of people involved, yeah, put the blame on me. They put the blame on me. Where at first I was like desperately seeking out help. I was asking for so much help that the dynamics changed. They cannot take it anymore, and the blame is on me now, because, like, to be honest, if you are daily being screamed at and being called names, and they take anything to sort of break your spirit, right? I guess it's like a natural thing to sometimes scream back at your abuser, right? But the unfortunate thing is, if you are in a position where you don't have like full, how do you say that, power over your situation, like who has full power, right? No one, I suppose. But there are like levels of government, how do you say that, governance? Anyway, so I'm in a quite a powerless position, and so yeah, you cannot really stand up for yourself, or you find yourself in a situation where they rather would discard you, right? They would rather discard you. They would rather get rid of you, because you're trying to raise awareness about a very difficult situation. So yeah, basically what I wanted to tell you in almost 30 minutes is that I did have like an epiphany tonight, where I was like, the only thing that I can do is be responsible with my money, more responsible than I am right now. I have to completely accept the fact that I don't have a lot of money, and I cannot spend it on the way that I am doing right now. I have to save up my money and leave this situation. I have to leave. There's just one thing that is making it a little more difficult, I suppose. This is literally a question that I have. I don't know the answer to this. Should you really sort of give up and leave, or should you address the problem? Because, I really sort of have to focus on myself right now and save myself, literally. I didn't tell you that this person has also been like threatening to kill me and stuff, but no one does anything, of course. Like, the police does take me seriously now, but it's really difficult. I have to save myself, but I keep thinking that if I remove myself eventually, if I manage to move away from this situation, I just worry that someone else will be a victim of this person, But I know I should not, I guess I should not focus on that so much. So I guess I should stop fighting, stop raising awareness about this specific problem with this specific person, and just take completely full responsibility over myself and my spending habits, so that I can move out of this situation and hopefully get a place by myself where I hopefully won't find a similar situation. That's it. And maybe I'll upload this, maybe not, and maybe I will make like a follow-up video if there's anything happening in this situation, right? Because tomorrow there's like a meeting planned with a lot of people that are involved. So, all right, that's all.